Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first tactical analysis from Corner Flag. And what a game we had today to cover La Liga's El Clásico between Barcelona and Real Madrid. Barcelona won it 4-3. Congratulations to them. In this video, I'll try to analyze and deep dive into the tactical plan from two maestro, and I would like to see what went really well for Barcelona and what went terribly wrong for Real Madrid. So let's dive in. Here in the left, we have 4-4-2 formation for Real Madrid. Courtois in the goal, then Fran Garcia, Chouameni, Asensio, and Lucas Vazquez in the back. Then Jude, Ceballos, Fede, and Arda Güler in the mid, and Vinicius and Mbappe in the front. For Barcelona, Chesney in the goal, Eric Garcia, Kubarsi, Martinez, and Jared Martin in the back four. The double pivot by De Jong and Pedri in front of them. In the central attacking mid, they had Dani Olmo. In the right, they had Lamine Yamal, and left Rafinha in the number 9 position, Ferran Torres. So let's see from the build-up phase how Real Madrid tried to progress, build up, progress, and attack, and how Barcelona defended against this progression. So I would like to divide the whole pitch into three big sections, or the sub pitches, and I would like to see that what build up usually has Real Madrid have. In the build-up position, I see Real Madrid usually try to play from the back. Two center back come down. They try to take the first pass, and depending on which side the first pass is, usually one midfield will come down, take the second pass from them, and the main purpose of this is to distribute the ball, finding the third pass, right? So this actually didn't work quite well for Real Madrid, because Barcelona was way up in the field and they squeezed all the space up. So Barcelona was something like that. Um, and what happened is Barcelona only was focusing the center defenders like CB. They were only focusing on maintaining this line with Vinicius and Mbappe. They pushed them as higher up in the pitch. So the main idea was that choke Real Madrid with the space, and with the high press and energy try to recover the ball. So what happened is, from the build up phases, Real Madrid didn't have much numerical advantage, and they couldn't play usually either from the CB or from the, from CB to the second pass can go to either side, in the wide range. And then normally they go to wide only if they have to open up this lane. That didn't happen much. So usually what happened is Real Madrid tried to play long ball. So this is a very good tactics from Flick, I would say, by forcing Real Madrid to have long ball. Now we all know that Courtois is not very good at long ball. He's probably the one of the top keeper who is technically so great as a goalkeeper, but who has like zero or negative, capabilities of ball distribution. He almost like 99% time will never find any of the play up high in the pitch, and he will never find them. It will be always intercepted by some of the center back or the defensive mid. So Koto was very bad at this, and we all knew that whenever there is high press, Koto won't find anyone. So it was very easy recovery from Barcelona. Either they will recover from here or they will recover here. So the build up was non-existing for Real Madrid, and that was the plan for Flick, and it worked really well for Barcelona. So let's see what happened in the progression. Barcelona maintained this high um, uh, position. In the progression, usually what happens is Fede, who supposed to take the ball, carry it, dribble past some of the player, and then make final passes in the attack. That didn't happen because Fede was pinned down due to the defensive, incapabilities of Lucas Vasquez. So that didn't happen. For Ceballos, actually, Ceballos supposed to be the pressing absorber. His sole purpose was to absorb the pressing and then find the second pass either to Jude or to Fede or somewhere here. Ceballos completely failed in that. And the reason behind it is I'll come to that when I'll talk about Barcelona's progression. But the Ceballos couldn't do that, and Arda Güler was almost isolated from the midfield most of the time. Didn't have intensity, doesn't have much defensive capabilities. So he was subbed off in the second half. Ceballos also the same thing. He couldn't distribute the ball from the back. So the progression was very, very, again, I would say the progression part of the game was also somewhere real completely failed against Barcelona. Uh, Another thing is that what I see from the ball distribution and possession wise play, and the second aspect of the progression is that you have to disrupt the defensive line uh, by either off the ball movement play, or there will be overlap between the play. There will be a disruptive movement between your attacking players, so that you disrupt this defensive line, and only then you go to attack. If there is no disruption in the defense line, you come back. There is only 3 to 5 seconds for each play, and if you are not disrupting the defensive line, go back, reorganize, and come back again. So that's how the game should play. Every time I see that there is a progression by some of these, the the disruptive game should come from these two. Sometimes maybe Jude will take the middle, uh, Vinicius an out wide left, Jude taking center location. Andragula is non-existent in the first half, but let's bring him in the game. There will be some overlapping with the our fullbacks. These overlapping runs are the disruptive runs. There is Vinicius will cut back, or the fullbacks will cut back. This type of run will be there. There will be off the ball movement run from the Jude to bring one CB with him. That didn't happen. So we didn't see any kind of central position, taking central position role by Jude. We didn't see this type of run, which worked really well in the first half of the season. It didn't work today. So another thing is, Vasquez is not attacking at all, but he was also very poor at his positional sense. I'll talk a little bit more when Barcelona's attack. I'll talk about Barcelona's attack, but this is the place where most of the creative, in the progressive part of the pitch, where most of the creative game will be played, and Real Madrid couldn't play these games, mostly because of the structure of the Barcelona, the way Barcelona attacked Real Madrid. I'll talk about it later. So I would say first two goal. I wouldn't say set very much good team build up game. Real Madrid was high in the pitch. Barcelona missed it. It was very lucky for Real Madrid to get very early two goals, but I wouldn't say these are any kind of tactical team goal. So 90 minutes, I didn't see organized attack from them. One of the thing I would say for Vinicius, it is one of the poorest display from him. Most of the time when there was an attack and Real Madrid lose the ball, Barcelona is in attack again. There's some recovery from here. He was very slow to come back to the onside position. When Barcelona is, holding these two location, Vinicius was almost like walking in the park. He was going slowly in the sideline, or he was trying to slowly cut back. When he is always in the offside position, if you recover the ball here, if Fede recovered the ball, there is no way he can find Vinicius. He is always out of this equation. That happened lots of time. Vinicius, when Real Madrid was too to four, two to four behind them. They're supposed to have this aggressiveness to get the ball. Vinicius wasn't in his body language so bad. For attacking Mbappe, I would say it is the finest display by him. Unfortunately, the hat trick he had will be not being much talk, but El Clasico hat trick, only two or three, I think. Di Stefano had two hat trick. I think Messi also had two hat trick. That's a big thing. Messi played probably more than 30 El Clasico or 40 El Clasico, had only two hat trick. So having one hat trick in El Clasico is a pretty good, big thing. Mbappe's hat trick, nobody will remember it just because the whole match was so bad for Real Madrid and they lost it. But Mbappe had one of the finest display today. I had nothing against him, but yeah, Vinicius had a very very bad body language and form wise the whole season, and nothing new for today's match as well. Let's now talk a little bit about the Barcelona's gameplay, and that will definitely bring a lot of insight about the Barcelona's gameplay as well. Sorry, Real Madrid's defensive gameplay as well. So let's talk about that now. We have Dani Olmo here, and then Ferran. So let's see how Real Madrid wanted to. So how Barcelona tried to progress, right? So when Barcelona tried to take the ball from Szczesny, normally as usual, it will go to one of these center back, and then I saw there's no pressing from Real Madrid in the whole game. Mbappe and Vinicius tried to attack this ball, but they were always 3 versus 1. It was always like this. It always like so there was multiple passes from Barcelona to get away from this build up portion of the pitch. And maybe Fede or Jude made a little bit late run sometimes, but they were so late. By this time the ball is here. So essentially, there is no recovery if in the Barcelona's half defensive half. There is no recovery from Real Madrid, no intercept from Real Madrid, no pressing at all. It is the intensity, the lack of intensity, or the stamina. I don't know who are more tired, but yeah. Real Madrid didn't show that they want to win. At least not from their intensity. That all I can say. So Barcelona had pretty easy build up. They spent very less time in build up because most of the time they were in the high up in the pitch. So I would say the most of the time Barcelona spent time in the progression. So how the progression happened is one of the finest display by these three guys. De Jong, Pedri, and Olmo. They worked like a one unit. Wherever there was ball, these three guys worked together. Let's say Jude find one ball, and these three guys were all together here, and they recovered the ball. Jude didn't have any passing line opening, and Vinicius was nowhere in a position to take the ball. Mbappe is not coming. So again and again we saw that these three guys played all together. Whenever which location they are going, they're going all together three, and they are making this triangle between them and always open for passing between them. So that was that they work together as a one unit. That is the sole purpose this team is playing so good, that uh, they always find each other, and that's very good. The second thing is from the progression. Second thing, I would say that today the most of the defensive disruption came from this guy Ferran Torres, and he had a very good game. He actually had three assists. The first one for Eric Garcia, the second one I think for Lamine Yamal, and third one for Rafinha. The fourth goal of Barcelona, the third assist for Ferran Torres. The reason is that Ferran Torres always occupied this position. He was always pinned down this 2CB. You cannot have 1v1 like this, right? Then you are done. So Real Madrid had this whole match 90 minute. Chouameni or Asensio, nobody went. They couldn't leave this place just because Ferran Torres. And later at the end of the game, he was replaced by Gavi. So that time, I think Flick just wanted to have more possession and not attack much. But before that, Ferran Torres was always here, always right place in the right time. And look what happened is when Ferran Torres was here, he found all these assists just because of his off the ball movement was so good. He disrupted this defense more than I would say Lamine and Rafinha. So he was the key player for breaking this defense. Now, from the Lamine Yamal's perspective, I would say in a 1v1 position with Fran Garcia, it's a dangerous situation. You never want to have Lamine Yamal with him. So whenever Lamine Yamal was here, most of this side of the player, Ceballos or Jude Bellingham, they were almost trying to close him down. So I would say today it is a little bit lucky day for Fran Garcia because Lamine wasn't taking one on one with Fran Garcia a lot. Whenever there was 1v1 position, Lamine played back either to Olmo or to De Jong or maybe with Eric Garcia. Because of this play, I think he's a little bit tired after Inter Milan game, or maybe he just didn't feel like taking on Fran Garcia. So I would say Fran Garcia was pretty lucky and did quite well. However, whenever Yamal was 1v1, Ceballos and Jude Bellingham has to come here. These two CB was pinned down with Ferran Torres, so essentially Fede has to be the DM here. And what happened is, as I was telling, Lucas Vasquez doesn't have any idea about the structure. He was most of the time, often I saw, was somewhere here, which led to a very good overlapping game between Gerard Martin and Rafinha. And what happened is, if you see from here, these two games, right, there are two things that Lamine Yamal did here. One is Ferran Torres. I already told you that he made all the disruption here. But what Lamine did is he completely shifted the structure of Real Madrid into the left side. From the Real Madrid perspective, is the left side. Everything went left side. That opened up Rafinha and Gerard Martin. There are lots of crosses. The diagonal crosses came to Gerard Martin runs and Rafinha's runs. So I don't know why Vasquez was in this position most of the time. He's supposed to be here taking on these two players, but it didn't happen. I think I don't know how a top tier, top player can deep in form and senses of the play so badly. I have no answer for this, but that's what happened to Lucas Vasquez. Another thing happened with Lamine Yamal's position is that when he was here, he was very easy. He never felt like in his body language. He never felt like he's intimidated by Real Madrid. He was always like very calm and quiet, holding the ball, giving it to De Jong or giving it to Olmo, and that opened up late run from Pedri or even Olmo. And when Ferran Torres is taking on one CB, there was almost a very good shooting chances from Pedri, and we saw it in the previous El Clasico. They kind of they found these opportunities a lot today. Federer tried to cover these. Ceballos tried to cover this so that they don't get this open up. But what happened is, due to this structural shift for Lamine Yamal, this type of late run from De Jong, Olmo, or Pedri, and diagonals run from or overlapping run from Rafinha and Gerard Martin was very effective for Barcelona. So I think Barcelona attack mostly from the progression to attack was mostly done by this disruption by Lamine Yamal and disruption by Ferran Torres, and worked pretty well. They had a fantastic comeback when 2-0 down. They came back to 4-2, and then a late goal in the second half, and it became 4-3. So I really think. There are lots of things that Real Madrid needs to improve in, but Barcelona is having really good core player, and Flick is, I think, found the solution. There's a indication that Barcelona will be successful in coming days, and Real Madrid has lots of things to figure it out. That's all from today. Thank you.